Today, you're supposed to apologize to every naked savage anywhere on the globe because you are more prosperous, because you've earned your money. You have to feel guilty and apologize for it, while he hasn't and doesn't intend to learn from you. He just wants your money. That's what we're being taught. Why are we being taught? Because the ruling philosopher today in Harvard and everywhere else is Immanuel Kant. And that's the real villain of our age. It's not Karl Marx.
You mean he's the one, huh?
He is the one.
Kant is the one. Okay.
It's not Karl Marx, and it's not even religion. So I do not approve of religion, as you know. But those are not the villains. The villains is Immanuel Kant, who preached that man's mind is not valid, that the things you perceive are not there. They're not real. Things in themselves, as he preached, are something which exists in another dimension. Your world is only phenomenal, as he called it, and then there is this noumenal world which you cannot perceive in any way whatever, and that noumenal world is the true reality. Only you can't perceive it, so you better live here on earth and do your duty. And your duty is some kind of voice that comes from these other dimensions, which you can't know. Well, how does he know? He doesn't tell you. But he tells you that morally you have to do your duty. What does your duty consist of? Of doing things in which you can take no possible interest and no advantage to yourself. You know that he is even worse than an altruist. An altruist would tell you, you shouldn't be happy, but you should sacrifice for other people, and then you're moral. Kant goes beyond it. He says, if you do things because you have any goal whatever, even the welfare of others, your action is not moral. Or as he puts it, it has no moral significance. To be truly moral, you should do things out of which you get nothing whatever, neither for yourself nor for others.
But I will say this, every belief system is based on something unproven. All of them. Human rights means nothing. Where do you get your basis of human rights?
From a feeling. How about that?
Well, exactly. Which is subjective.
What the fuck? Well, that sucks, given that Shapiro is a follower of Aristotelian Jewish scholar Rabbi Maimonides. The fact is that Aristotle's ethics were pretty weak, which is why Kant was able to succeed. But if only Ben Shapiro were exposed to a philosopher who justified objective truth and objective morality.
For someone who speaks a lot about morality, it seems like you don't, it seems like you avoid acknowledging Ayn Rand.
Hey, Ben, do you have any thoughts to offer up on the works of Ayn Rand and objectivism?
Sure. I think that on capitalism, there's very few expositors of capitalism who I think are better than Ayn Rand. As far as her life philosophy and her relationship philosophy, I think that's pretty garbage. Pretty garbage. Pretty garbage. 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 Pretty garbage. As far as her life philosophy and her relationship philosophy, I think that's pretty garbage.
Someone who speaks a lot about morality, it seems like you don't, it seems like you avoid acknowledging Ayn Rand, and I'm wondering, would you agree to debate someone like Yaron Brook or any objectivist?
I'd love to talk to Yaron Brook, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I think that Ayn Rand's take on what drives capitalism is correct. Her take on applying that to human nature and interrelationships between human beings, I think, is more of a problem.
What the fuck? As Peikoff explains, must men resign themselves to total skepticism? No, says Kant, there is one means of piercing the barrier between man and existence. Since reason, logic, and science are denied access to reality, the door is now open for men to approach reality by a different, non-rational method. The door is now open to faith. Taking their cue from their needs, men can properly believe, for instance, in God and in an afterlife, even though they cannot prove the truth of their beliefs. And no matter how powerful the rational argument against their faith, that argument can always be dismissed out of hand. One need merely remind its advocate that rational knowledge and rational concepts are applicable only to the world of appearances, not to reality.
Every belief system is based on something unproven. All of them. Human rights means nothing. Where do you get your basis of human rights?
From a feeling. How about that?
Well, exactly. So the
So,
Enlightenment
wait, just to
actually
pause
ate
for a
itself.
sec.
The
Right.
Enlightenment ate itself. What happened is
So
that there
that's
was
what I'm seeing
is that
now, yeah.
the Enlightenment was, and I think that you see this in Kant. Kant sees all of this. He sees that this struggle is coming, and so he attempts to re-inject religion and spirituality and God back into a moral system without actually saying so. Right? Kant is not actually an atheist. Kant is actually trying to create a rational basis for Christian revelation and Christian reasoning so that he can avoid the trap of having to cite the Bible, but he can say that all of this makes sense anyway. I think that on capitalism, there's very few expositors of capitalism who I think are better than Ayn Rand. As far as her life philosophy and her relationship philosophy, I think that's pretty garbage. Pretty garbage. Pretty garbage. 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 Pretty garbage. As far as her life philosophy and her relationship philosophy, I think that's pretty garbage.